Living Christian with JGar.
Hello everybody, welcome back. In my last testimony video I talked about how Jesus saved me from Adderall. I talked about my Adderall experience, my friends who used cannabis, tobacco, other drugs and alcohol, and my bad relationship. After posting that video, I immediately realized there is a lot more I can say just on Adderall and just based on my own experience with that drug. It is a very common drug now. It has become a very popular drug in the last 20 years. Many people now call it the new most addictive and dangerous drug out there. I quit the drug nearly 2 decades ago, and it has taken me all this time to finally work up the courage to speak up about my experience with this evil drug. It's crazy to think that when I was taking this drug, I wasn't even breaking the law. I was taking a legal prescription. I remember in elementary school we had guest speakers teach us about smoking and alcohol, why we shouldn't smoke, why we shouldn't drink, why we shouldn't do drugs, and a lot of us wondered, why do people turn to drugs anyway? Why are drugs so easily accessible now? Then in middle school, 5th grade, we had the D.A.R.E program, and at the time that I was in the D.A.R.E program, we had the police officer come into our class and teach us through videos and in-class exercises. It was good to learn what cocaine, heroin, and LSD were, and what happens to people who use these drugs. They never said anything about Adderall or the deception of prescription drugs. The D.A.R.E program has been heavily criticized as a big failure. It's been revamped as the Keeping It Real program with better reception, and it's getting further revampings from what I've read recently. I hope it's better now. I sure hope so. After the D.A.R.E program, a lot of students around me didn't learn a thing. I knew that I never wanted to try drugs. Seeing videos about how it hurts your athletic skills and me being an athlete, I sure didn't want that. But then a year after 5th grade, as in 6th grade, a doctor brainwashed me into thinking I needed this prescription medication, that I wasn't feeling right and this medicine was going to make me live better and work better. A drug called Adderall. And here I was, being a lab rat to test out this drug, back when there wasn't that much information available on Adderall. And this further perpetuates the failure of the D.A.R.E program back then. My first year on Adderall, the body fights off toxins and poisons until it weakens down and allows the drug to take over. So during this time, my brain went in all sorts of directions. A lot of strange, disturbing thoughts crossing my mind, and lack of sleep, lack of appetite as well. Oof. Very little for breakfast, very little for lunch, and very little for dinner. My mom would serve me my dinner plate. I only took a couple bites and then I was done. Although I might have some snacks afterwards. And this angered my parents, made them very upset, wondering why I wasn't eating. Imagine this happening night after night for 2 years. If you've taken Adderall for 2 years or even longer, you know what I'm talking about. Adderall also made me do some bizarre, offensive actions without thinking about it first. Sometimes I would do something that made somebody else really upset or even hurt somebody else. And I would look back and wonder, why did I do that? What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. And Adderall turns off parts of your brain at random moments to make you do these bad actions without thinking first. The pamphlet says that Adderall doesn't take control, but that's a lie. Adderall does take control, just as any other drug takes control. Because I was in middle school at the time, this meant that I had recently hit puberty, and I was exposed to some dirty images on the internet and TV back when the internet was evolving rapidly. Throw Adderall in, and Adderall really messes with your sex hormones. I started developing some disturbing sexual fetishes that I have since let go of. Oof. In my note-taking in preparation for this video, I was considering whether or not to share certain sexual fetishes that happened, and I've decided not to share that. I will share that when I had a crush on a girl at the time, I would over-obsess over her. I would become addicted to thoughts and feelings of being with her, spending time with her in a long-term relationship, even though she never dated me. And this further angered and upset me when she turned me away and didn't start that relationship. Some of these habits continued into my second year on the drug. I didn't take the drug during the summer break when we weren't in school. My family and I agreed that I didn't need to take it during that time. But during that withdrawal phase, I had a lot of lazy days. There were days where I would just sit around and do nothing. My parents wanted me to help out around the house, but I just sat around. My mom would walk up to me really upset and say, "You haven't done anything I told you to do today." And years after, I would look back at that and think, why was I so lazy? Wait a minute. I was on Adderall at the time. And that's what Adderall does to you, even in the withdrawal phase. When school resumed again for my second year, I started taking Adderall again, and there were about 6 months when I felt the positive benefits that the doctor said I would feel when I was on Adderall. I was attentive in class. I felt that I could focus on every word the teachers were saying. I focused on my in-class assignments without dozing off. I could focus on my studies in preparation for the next quiz and test. I could focus on group assignments. My grades didn't change at all, though. You hear stories about other students taking Adderall and their grades went up. Maybe they got straight A's. Not me. My grades stayed the same. This might also be because for every 10 really good assignments I did for class, there was always that one assignment that I did really terrible on, where I would simply not think at all about what I was doing and end up completing an assignment horribly. And then I would look back and wonder, why did I do so poorly on that assignment? Wait, it's because I was on Adderall at the time. Another detail I should share on Adderall is that when I first started taking it, I would take one 10 milligram pill per day. We soon changed it to 15 milligrams per day in capsule form. When in capsule form, I took 3 5 milligram capsules per day, and then we changed it to one 15 milligram capsule for that little more convenience. In my second year on Adderall, I still played football and basketball, and when I came home from school every day, I would tell my mom, "The Adderall works." I felt that I could listen to everything the teachers were saying. I felt that I could focus on my assignments without daydreaming. It's actually working. And then at around 5 or 6 p.m. each day, I felt exhausted. Not even sleepy, just exhausted. As if I couldn't feel the blood flow in my arms and legs, and I just wanted to sit there and do nothing. And I hated that feeling. Plus, that winter break, I got pneumonia. If you've ever had pneumonia, you know how serious that sickness is. When you have pneumonia, everything hurts. And now I know why I got pneumonia. Because Adderall weakens your immune system so badly that your body can't protect you from anything. And that led to me getting pneumonia. I recovered in a few days thanks to the emergency medical care I got and the medication that the emergency doctors gave me. During middle school I had braces, and I was supposed to have braces for about 1.5 years. When I started taking Adderall, I ended up having braces for about 3 years. Because you can't focus on taking care of your teeth when Adderall is taking over your brain. I was also transitioning from glasses to contact lenses. But my vision would impair even more, and I would consistently need higher powered contact lenses. When I stopped taking Adderall, my vision never got worse. Once I realized Adderall was the problem causing all these bad feelings in me, I quit on my own decision. When you quit the drug, it takes time to recover, just as it takes time to recover from any other drug. During my recovery time, the high from Adderall would kick in at random moments. If you've ever taken Adderall in your lifetime, you know that the high or stone out that you get from Adderall is not like other drugs. I started high school already knowing that I felt better ever since I quit Adderall. But there was a brief time where the doctor tried to ease me back on Adderall by giving me a smaller dosage, 10 milligrams in pill form. After only 2 days, I quit again. And from there, I never used the drug again. But going back to the fact that the drug can still give you that high at random moments after you've quit the drug, I remember recovering from a common cold, and the high would kick in when I was talking with other classmates. I would start babbling things that didn't make that much sense, and other students would ask me, "Are you high right now?" Are you drunk? Now those students had drug problems too. My high school had a seriously bad drug problem. But the more time went by, the easier I found to get through these recovery days. I probably could have used more assistance from a rehab doctor at this time. My appetite returned with a vengeance. Wow. I was hungry and I was eating a lot of junk food, and my parents were happy to buy it for me. You know that restaurant Popeye's Chicken? You remember when they introduced the chicken strip po' boy sandwich? My parents used to buy me 2 chicken strip po' boy sandwiches with fries and soda, and I would eat both chicken strip po' boy sandwiches in one sitting. Finish one, immediately get to the other one, finish it, and then finish the fries. Then I remember visiting relatives in New Jersey, and New Jersey has that classic restaurant, White Castle. My parents bought me 20 slider cheeseburgers from White Castle with 2 cups of fries and 2 sodas, and I ate all of it. And my parents and relatives would just sit back and watch in amazement as I downed all that food. My parents were even talking with each other saying, boy, we thought he lost his appetite, and nope, his appetite's bigger than ever now. My parents also used to buy DiGiorno pizza for me. I would put the DiGiorno pizza in the oven, cook it up, take it out, eat the whole pizza. When you look back at this was scary. Not because I was eating all that junk food, but because my stomach and digestive system were so blocked out by Adderall. And then months after quitting Adderall, my digestive system woke up hungrier than ever. No wonder I was so hungry every single day and eating so much junk food. And I was still exercising in the gym and getting ready for each sports season, getting ready for football season and baseball season. So as you can tell, about 2 years I was using the drug, and it took about 2 years to fully readjust to life without the drug. The doctor who originally prescribed Adderall to me continued to see me for about 1.5 years after I quit, until he agreed that I didn't need to be put back on the drug, and I never had an appointment with that doctor again. During high school, I also found my love for filmmaking and storytelling. So I went on to study film in college, and I still am fully into making media to this day. Again, my friends in high school and college all had drug problems. Some even used Adderall. Not every single friend I had a drug problem, but most friends did. I've also been saved by Jesus since then, and Jesus has helped me work up the courage to finally open up about my experience taking this drug in a very painful experience in my lifetime. It's important to understand that our time on earth is brief. Heaven is eternal. So while we are on this earth, it is important to learn how to live the best life possible while we are on this earth. This means take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones around you. Let's say you're a parent. If your doctor insists that you or your children need to be put on Adderall, say no. If your doctor still insists that you or your children need this drug, get a new doctor. Some say Adderall can benefit those with ADHD or autism as long as they take the proper dosage each day and take the drug with the proper care and supervision from a responsible doctor. No, no one should be taking Adderall. You research Adderall today, you don't find any article or video that recommends the drug. Everyone condemns it. There are documentaries now, some even short documentaries on YouTube, all about Adderall, and they all condemn the drug. There are people using Adderall who say they wish they never took it, but they still believe that they need it. Or they say that they can't find any way to quit the drug. It's very easy to get a prescription for this drug. People don't have to seek illegal drug sellers for Adderall. Many doctors are happy to prescribe the drug to whoever asks for it. Still, there are drug dealers who sell the drug illegally, and I've heard that they recommend breaking the capsules open, crushing the pebbles into powder, and snorting it like cocaine for a faster effect. Does that sound like Adderall is a good drug to take? Many users have lost their lives to Adderall, whether through overdose, prolonged use, or having taken their own lives. Some users were saved and recovered, but in the process had liver failure, kidney failure, heart attacks, severe brain damage, and many other problems. There have also been many more pneumonia cases connected to Adderall. Seek the Lord. God will help you heal, function, live, and serve. Now that I live Christian, I see that Jesus called me closer to Him before I started praying about it. I didn't know what Adderall was back then. But God knew. Jesus knew the destruction that Adderall would cause on me, and led me to quit before it could get any worse, and before I started praying to Jesus on how to get off of this drug. With Jesus in control, I know that I can only make the right decisions. Let's get this dangerous drug out of here. Jesus has shown me that I shouldn't be nervous or worried about sharing this story. Jesus has shown me that I should be happy to share my experience, in hope that you now know to avoid this drug, or get help if you are trying to quit this drug. Jesus has helped me clear out my mind of other bad habits, so I can get serious about helping others quit addictions such as Adderall. Make Jesus the answer to your needs. Living Christian means avoiding the evil temptations that can take you off of your path to follow Christ. Adderall is one of those temptations. Avoid it. Love the Lord, serve the Lord. I hope my story has helped you. Let me know in the comments section if it has. Like and share if you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to me for more videos, hit the bell if you want notifications. I'm creating for you. Have a great week and a great life, and always love yourself for who you are. Godspeed.